Good morning. Today, I wanted to speak a little bit about how to overcome addictions. Now, when I say addiction, I know immediately a lot of people's mind may go to, let's say, drugs, alcohol, porn. We tend to think about the worst things um, as being true addictions. But the reality is, pretty much anything can be an addiction. Food can be an addiction. Working out too much can be an addiction. Watching too much television, too much social media, anything that takes you away from your responsibilities um, and causes you to neglect the people you love in any form or shape can be an addiction. So let's get it out of our minds that, addiction are the hardcore things like drug and alcohol. Yes, those things are pretty bad, but addiction can be anything. I think the two things the most that people are addicted to in modern society is food and sex. Now, mind you, I'm not for a second saying that those things aren't great. I mean, they are, but they have their place, and I think a lot of times when we are in our addiction or we are completely absorbed in some activity like food or sex or something like that, we are searching for some kind of euphoric feeling that's just going to cause us to forget. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if every day was a Sunday, if every day was a fiesta, then it wouldn't feel like a Sunday or a fiesta or a holiday. If Christmas was every day, really wouldn't have too much to look forward to when Christmas Day actually came around. It wouldn't be that special. But because it takes 365 days a year, we build up this anticipation, if you will. So the way I look at addiction now is different, because I've struggled with my addictions just like anybody else. But I think if a person, let's say, for example, let's say an alcoholic, somebody that struggles with alcohol, that's their go to, can't live without it. But one day they decide to change and change for the better. No, that person could go to AA or NA. Don't get me wrong, those things are great. Um, what's not great is when somebody is repeatedly telling you that you have an addiction, you have a problem, you have a disease. That's okay. You can't help yourself. Those things, please don't do that. You're not helping a person. You're just enabling a person to be the same exact person. But when a person really, really wants to change for the better or really want to overcome an addiction, they have to change their mindset. And it has to be more than just, okay, I have a food addiction, so I'm going to cut back and I'm going to diet and ration out because, this is ruining my life. So if I can just go without eating too much today, then I can build on that tomorrow. And again, don't get me wrong, those things are great. But where is your heart? Where is your intention? Do you want to cut back on food because you want to live a better life? Okay, if that's the case, then make that your goal. I want to live a better life. I want to be healthy. I want to live long. So I'm going to cut back on food. You know, I want to live a good life. I want to be able to enjoy the simple things in life. So I'm going to stop drinking, not for the sake of stopping drinking. I'm going to stop doing drugs, not for the sake of stopping doing drugs. I'm not going to have as much sex, not for the sake of not having so much sex. But it has to be because I want to live a better life. Because I want to be happy. I want to be that person that loves himself or herself and be a blessing to others, be positive to others. So it's really a mindset thing. Like, I'll give you an example. There's been a few times in my life where I've been a fat fuck. And I'm not going to lie, I've been a fat fuck. I think when I was 19, I maybe weighed like 350 pounds. And it was really, really hard to lose that weight. I played football in high school. And, unfortunately, when I quit football to focus on my grades, my eating habits didn't change. Because, when you're playing football, you're working out constantly, so you can eat anything. So But anyways, that was really, really rough on me, and the only thing it took was for me to want to have a better life and not just simply lose weight. Because if I just lost weight, that wasn't going to make me a better person. You know, what if I lost all that weight and I'm an asshole? Okay, now I'm a skinny asshole. I used to be a fat asshole. Now I'm a skinny asshole. But when you start to focus on a certain area of your life where you want to improve on, you start to see all these other areas of your life that you can improve on. So I say that to say this. If you're struggling with addiction, make wanting a better life for yourself your motivation to overcome that. And it has to start with loving yourself. You know, Even just recently, let's say maybe about a year ago, somehow I got up to 300 pounds again. And when I saw that, I decided that I was going to do something about it. But I knew that if I were weighing myself every day or every week, seeing how much weight I lost, how much progress I was making, then I was just going to mind fuck myself. I mean, and that's just a reality. And I did actually do that for a few months. Okay. I lose a couple pounds here, a couple pounds there. Sometimes I gain weight and I would think that that was necessarily a bad thing. It's like, no, that wasn't a bad thing. I was actually gaining muscle. So, that wasn't a bad thing at all. But the moment I decided, I'm not going to focus on that anymore. I'm not going to weigh myself. That's not important. What's important is I want to be healthy, and I want to live a long life and I want to have energy to do things. I want to be more focused in the areas of my life that I feel that I need to be more focused in. I want to be able to enjoy the simple things. I made that my motivation. And every chance I got, I went to the gym. Not because I wanted to lose weight, because I wanted to be healthy, because I wanted to live a better life, because I wanted to love myself. And yeah, I didn't want to be a fat fuck anymore because that shit don't feel good carrying around all that weight. So I wouldn't recommend it. So if you're struggling with an addiction, any addiction, your mindset has to be, I want to live a better life. And then you have to have a system in place. You have to have a system and you have to have habits because everybody have goals. We all have goals, but goals don't mean shit if you're not putting it into action. It don't mean anything if you're not putting it into action. Everybody at the beginning of the year or New Year, oh, I got all these goals to lose weight. I'm going to cut out sugar and stuff like that. Okay, but it starts with day one and then you build on that. Okay, you have to have a system in place. How am I going to go about losing weight? How am I going to go about cutting out sugar? How am I going to go about not watching porn or eating too much and stuff like that? And then once you have that system in place, it just gets better. They say it takes 90 days to break a habit. And I think the wonderful thing about habits is whether good or bad, they're hard to break. So, I mean, if you're developing good habits, let's say for 30 days, I'm telling you, you might backslide a little bit. It's still going to be hard to break those good habits. So my best advice is to just get back up. Don't let that shit get you down. Get back up and keep fighting. You know, so it's possible. Whatever addiction you may be coming on. I just wanted to give my 2 cents on that because I really feel like it's a mindset thing. It's all about how you think about it. Do you want to have a better life? Okay, what are you going to do about it? And the reality is successful people do consistently what most people only do occasionally. That's just a fact. And nobody said it better than G.K. Chesterton when he said, if it's worth doing, then it's worth doing poorly. So if you're on that journey to overcome your addictions and you fall or stumble along the way, that's okay. The important thing is you get back up and then you learn how to do things better. But don't ever give up on yourself because you're worth it. Thank you.